quorum. So can we?
Yeah, it's already 3 o'clock, so I think we should start.
Should we start?
Yeah. So we have already 93 participants in this.
Yes, let's start.
Yeah,
Let's start.
so let's start.
It
So
will
hello,
increase.
yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar on role of digital libraries and knowledge collaboration to advance sustainable mobility research. I'm Reeta Sharma, Associate Fellow, TERI. This webinar is organized by TERI and GIZ as part of the NDC Transport Initiative for Asia project being implemented in India by GIZ and other partner organizations. The aim of this webinar is to discuss the role of digital libraries and knowledge management in promoting sustainable transportations and how their benefits can be leveraged for advancing sustainable mobility. For this webinar, we have a distinguished panel of speakers from various sectors such as government, corporate, and academia. But before introducing them formally, I would like to make few announcements. If you have any questions, please post in chat box only. We will take only selected questions at the end of this webinar. And the recording of this webinar will also be available on TERI YouTube channel. So without much ado, now I would like to invite Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya, Senior Fellow and Associate Director, Knowledge Resource Center, TERI, to please deliver the welcome address of this webinar. Over to you, Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya.
Thank you, Rita, for such wonderful introduction to this seminar. In fact, let me begin this way that all our respected speakers, Dr. Indradip Mitra from GIZ, Dr. Mukti Advani from CRRI, Mr. Kumar Sanjay from NITI Aayog, Dr. Sudtradhar from IIT Kharapgur, and Dr. Anup from JNU, my colleague Ms. N. Deepa, and our esteemed participants who are here to understand today how digital library can support such specific area of research. I want to extend a hearty welcome to all of you in today's webinar, that is role of digital libraries and knowledge collaboration to advance sustainable mobility research. So this webinar we are organizing, as Rita has already told you, with GIZ India as part of NDC-TIA project. Now at this onset, I will briefly highlight value of sectoral digital libraries in knowledge creation, research, policy making process through different kind of knowledge dissemination avenues. Traditionally, we all know that libraries have been providing knowledge support to research and promote decisions through various kind of services, both print as well as digital services. Digital libraries make it possible for users to access information anytime, anywhere basis. One can optimize user display functions as well as different kind of advanced searching experience also, from single window access, single database to federated databases, search facility to discovery search facility, and all these as and when required. From the management point of view, maintenance of digital libraries are comparatively much cheaper. We can have a continuous updation facilities as and when required, and provide a user-friendly access to resources following digital rights management rules. Digital library can contain unlimited information quantity, preserve information with zero loss of resources. With sharing facilities in place, digital library also facilitates knowledge collaboration in research and exchange of ideas, and support information decision making process for all stakeholders, all type of stakeholders, be it in academic, be it in corporate or in government, everywhere. Further to this, digital library brings ubiquity. That is, a single window, single electronic copy can be simultaneously accessed from a larger number of locations by many users at the same time, assuming that copyright permissions are already there. Now, coming to the pretext of present webinar, we all can see that in recent days, low carbon transportation research is getting a lot of priority across the globe. And as this would reduce GHG emissions from transport sector and minimize climate change impact, all governments are providing a lot of research support also, and a lot of industries are growing also in this direction. So this is a new topic, and when a research subject is growing, creating collaborative content and accumulation of scattered content at a single place for use are two most important pillars. And as this would support the growth of sectoral knowledge at a much faster pace. So DLGM is a initiative in this direction, and I hope that you all will enjoy today's seminar. Today we will learn more from our esteemed speakers, more about what way they can, their digital libraries are benefiting users, and which is definitely a need of the hour today. Once again, I welcome all of you in this webinar and hope you go home with enriched knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome address and highlighting the features of digital libraries and how these are helping users to serve their information and research needs. Now it's time to introduce our next speakers, Dr. Indradip Mitra. Dr. Indradip Mitra is the team leader, e-mobility, Indo-German Energy Program, IGEN at GIZ India. And he will talk on need of digital libraries in sustainable transportation research. So over to you, Dr. Mitra.
Thank you, Mrs. Reeta. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon from Delhi. I might be a bit odd person out in this webinar because I am not from the background of library science, directly speaking. However, I used to be a researcher and still in our group in GIZ, we are active and engaged with various kinds of research related to low carbon transport and energy. So in that context, I can tell that that at the moment in India and same as many other countries in the world, we are facing a shift towards clean mobility and a focus in clean mobility, but it's not only one single item. It's pretty broad in spectrum, and therefore multi-dimensional aspects and also agencies are involved in that. If you think about one smaller component called electric mobility or electric vehicle domain, there are at least 6 or 7 central government ministries are involved. Various states, almost 21 states at the moment, are having electric vehicle policy, either already passed or in the draft stage. And various agencies of the ministries are involved. So therefore, it's very wide spectrum and to a large extent heterogeneous. Now, if we talk about research, the topic could be so different and diverse from, for instance, modeling for GHG emission from transport till battery chemical material point of view, from levelized cost or levelized life cycle analysis type analysis to could be artificial intelligence for futuristic transportation. It could be a sector coupling between electricity sector and charging infrastructure. So it's all everything kind of is a complex nexus among many, many parameters. So therefore, there is really a need for information and which is structured and archived in a way that the researchers can get easy access to. When we started this initiative almost 1.5 years back, there was no such single entity actually to our knowledge which could serve to cover a broad spectrum of information from reports to publications, journal paper abstracts, also needless to say also the newses and recent publications from tender point of view. So we felt there is a need for kind of one-stop shop where people can get access to and can get the information relatively easily. Of course, we have to admit that over the years, the things are growing, and therefore, of course, the search functions are becoming more complex. However, we also felt there is another additional need to have certain thesis or dissertation copies. So likewise, we tried to develop the Digital Library of Green Mobility, and at the moment it has almost 1,800 like items to my knowledge, and I believe wide spectrum of the research community is actually using this. So I think my following speakers will speak a little bit more detailed and specific about DLGM. I would not go in details. I would only say and highlight that the diverse topics related to low carbon transport or green transport or even electric mobility, be it state level policy or its amendments, be it battery manufacturing policy or Government of India's recent notifications, you will find it in DLGM. Very recent example could be just few days back, I think 1 week back or so, Bureau of Indian Standards published LEVAC, one type of electric vehicle charging standard, which is less than 1 week old, and you will get it in DLGM. Similarly, if you take another example of very recently, Government of India came out with the RFP for battery manufacturing. It's just 3 days old. You'll get it also, and in a structured way. If you would like to know what is New Delhi electric vehicle policy, you easily can search and you will get it here. So it's very easy to find important information, not always the full information. If it's not freely or open source available, then at least the abstract and the link, and which is for a classical researcher point of view is serving huge value to my mind. Yeah, I end my short note here that I'm pretty confident that the DLGM can serve very effective for the wider research community who are interested in knowing not only in India what is going on in low carbon and green mobility, but also many international reports are also uploaded already. And many of our partner organizations throughout the world, their reports are also here. And here I end. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Indradip Mitra, for explaining us how shift towards clean mobility and where many agencies are involved feel a need, where the researchers feel the need that such kind of library should exist where they can get all the information at one place. So thank you, sir. Now we will move to our next speaker, Ms. Deepa. She is fellow TERI. She will talk on role of digital library on green mobility and other online knowledge sharing platform. Over to you, Deepa, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, all of you.
Yes, Deepa, ma'am, we can see.
Okay. So now I'll just take you through the digital library on green mobility and also walk you through some other online transport platforms. As we all know, and we all know that sustainable transportation, especially low carbon transportation, is an emerging sector. So the access to the right kind of information in a structured way cannot be overemphasized. And this is where platforms like Digital Library of Green Mobility and few others come into the picture. The key features of digital libraries are knowledge management platforms. So this digital and knowledge platforms are evolving rapidly with diverse features related to technology and internet and other ICT tools, which facilitate low carbon transportation across countries by providing access to stakeholders, both who are consuming the information as well as those who are producing those information through knowledge collaboration and sharing. So in essence, web platforms enable consolidation of scattered information in a structured manner, promoting the research, academic, business policy, regulatory interventions in the field of sustainable transportation. The capacity development and dissemination of knowledge among communities at large is also enabled through these web platforms. And through knowledge sharing, collaboration, and curation of knowledge, the web platforms support the business process also through user-centric services. The rationale for DLGM was, it was when it was set up, and like Dr. Mitra also emphasized, earlier Dr. Bhattacharya also observed on this. DLGM was set up for basically aligning with the government agenda of reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the transport sector through promotion of sustainable mobility by consolidating information that is scattered in various platforms, in various knowledge resources into a single window. DLGM aims to provide knowledge support for policy formulation as well as research, insights, and business inputs, and provides facility for knowledge sharing. Basic aim is for collective content co-creation. Basically, digital library aims, in all digital libraries, they aim for co-creation of knowledge. Brief detail about DLGM, of course, as you all know, that it is a collaborative effort of GIZ and TERI, and is part of the regional program NTC-TIA, which is an initiative of 7 organizations funded by IGEN of the German Ministry for Environment, Natural Resource, and Nuclear Safety PMA. And the key features of DLGM include facilitate knowledge access across the various issues concerning green mobility. DLGM showcases research insights, standards, technologies, policies, commercial aspects, and various other features related to the resources it has. It focuses on various dimensions of electric vehicles and low carbon transportation. The key contents of DLGM includes a knowledge hub. I will go into detail in knowledge hub, what comprises the knowledge hub, EV ecosystem, media and event sections, glossary of terms, and the key aspects, key features that is in DLGM includes the contents are searchable up to metadata level. Search results also suggest similar contents available elsewhere in the website. And there are users have we have a two-tiered user system. One is all users can search up to metadata level, whereas registered users, you have to be a registered user to download and share your contents, to download any information from DLGM and to share your contents through DLGM. And DLGM very strictly maintains the user's data privacy and copyright issues. For providing an optimal search and retrieval system, taxonomy structure was devised in consultation with the subject experts in GIZ as well as in TERI related to electric vehicles. And we have a 3-tier system. All the data, all the contents in DLGM is tagged based on themes, and in each theme there are sub-themes, and then each contents are tagged in, by keywords so that all optimal retrieval happens when a user searches giving any keywords. So digital library, the digital library on green mobility this is the basic structure of the contents that is there in the digital library. The knowledge hub comprises books, case studies, journals, opinions, videos, webinars, standards, policies, regulations, reports, training materials, research papers, articles, theses, and dissertations. Then the EV ecosystem comprises EV commercial aspects, the linkages to various institutions working on sustainable transportation. Events details includes both national and international events, conferences, symposiums that is happening in India as well as globally. The media section covers the latest news and press releases. We also have a glossary of terms, frequently asked questions, and of course, the contact feedback sections. All the contents are basically, we try to focus on the Indian region, but we also have several like research insights, which happen in global sector, which can have a bearing on our region. And you would be happy to know, the research which happens in India is also of interest to our researchers outside. Like one of our recent report, which was by GIZ and IIT Bombay, NITI Aayog was also a prime part of it. There was a request from the Institute of Technology in Austria, the Graz Institute of Technology, University of Technology in Austria. They wanted to host those reports in their net interactive documents library, that is NIT library. So, because their people in Europe had an interest in this technology report that was developed in India. So, this is the knowledge hub sector where we have various, if you see, we can sort the results through year, and then we can search through keywords, country by origin, theme, sub-theme. And we have a clear clear updation policy, in the sense we are very regularly updating all the aspects of all aspects of electric mobility in this DLGM platform. Like Dr. Mitra was mentioning about this BIS standard, which was just recently brought out, which is there in our website. Then the EV commercial part of it, we give information on the charging infrastructure, where charge point operators and charger manufacturers' details are covered, EV models and equipment manufacturers, and tax and custom duties. This is under the EV commercial section. Under linkages, we provide linkages, the links access to various government agencies, research institutes, corporate entities working in the sector of sustainable transportation. DLGM also covers the latest updates in form of events and news briefs which happened in the scene, and links are provided to the original information with brief detail of the event or the news updates which happen. And all copyright are subject to copyright rules. Contents can be downloaded subject to copyright permission, and contents can also be downloaded by registered users. The glossary of terms have been developed in consultation with the subject experts in TERI, and this is picturized glossary of terms are arranged in an alphabetical order in the website. So the journey so far, we have had the users, over 6,000 users. Registered users are 485. Registered users are those who are downloading contents from DLGM as well as sharing their contents on DLGM. We also promote our website through social media, and we have over 7,000 users in each Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So we promote, we update our users through the social media also, any new updates which happen, especially to the registered users. We are regularly updating them of any new contents which are being updated in the DLGM. We had done a short survey to capture the user feedback in the month of July to August, and what we learned was, our user base covers 11 countries, and as you can see, most of our user base comprises research and academic sector. Various other sectors like administrators, government officials, their knowledge professionals, consultants, they're also using our website, and most of the users are using it to upgrade their knowledge, enhance their knowledge. Then there are sizable percentage is engaged in research, are engaged in using DLGM for research and academic purposes. Other users use it to keep abreast of the current happenings which is happening in the field of green mobility, update themselves on the government policies and notifications, and for commercial and business purpose. In respect of the user friendliness of DLGM, both related to the features aspect as well as the accessibility of contents, the users were more or less satisfied with those aspects. Like I said earlier, all users can search the website up to metadata level, and the users have to register to download the full documents, as well as share their resources in the website. We have a login button in the homepage where you can log in and register yourself. Now, if then we, I just go through some other websites, noteworthy websites which are engaged in providing, disseminating knowledge on e-mobility. This is the Changing Transport website, which is developed by GIZ with support from PMO. And the key features is, it has a tracker of climate strategies for transport. It has country-wise, funder-wise list of projects, news events, and the display of contents. And the FAME India Phase 2, which was launched by Ministry of Heavy Industries, Government of India in I think 2 years back. So they have developed a very interesting dashboard in their website, which provides all data on e-mobility data. It has also provides OEMs, the equipment manufacturers, dealers, testing agencies to register users, details of all these for the registered users. The Automotive Research Association of India is also very active in developing websites on e-mobility. One is the DHI Center of Excellence for E-Mobility, which provides access to government policies, standards, skill development, related contents, and various other resources. A recent initiative is the Technobus platform, which supports technology, innovation, technology transfer, connection, collaboration of technology experts, as well as resource sharing. Go Ultra Low is an initiative by the UK government and industry in UK, which is supported by the Office of Zero Emission Vehicles, vehicle manufacturers and energy providers. Basically, this is UK-based data that they have. And the details, the contents in the website provides a whole range of information on UK's electric cars, as well as EV charging map across the country, and other smart tools such as journey cost saving calculator, car tax calculators, energy tariff, etc. A ZAP map is there, which is again specific to UK, which gives a map of all the charging points, nearest charging point, using an interactive map. This is the platform which is developed by the University of Technology in Austria, the Jazz University in Austria, which is basically, it uses the philosophy of net interactive documents where users can add information in the form of annotations to any page or the document. And this gets communicated to the owner of that information, that is the copyright owner of the information. And then users can start discussing that content. So this is a very new initiative which was developed by Professor Aman, and like some of our DLGM resources also they had requested post in their website for the benefit of their stakeholders. So that covers DLGM and other similar websites. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Deepa madam, for highlighting the key features of the DLGM and how it helping researchers in finding the right information at a single window platform. So our next session is a panel discussion on leveraging benefits in sustainable transportation research through digital libraries and knowledge management. And for this, I invite Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya to please moderate the panel. Over to you, Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya.
Thank you, Rita, and thank you, Deepa, for such an enlightening DLGM presentation. Just couple of points, quick points. DLGM is actually launched. Not it's about 10.5 months back. It was launched, and you can see that 47,000 pages are viewed right now. 6,400 users regularly, visiting our site. And yes, we have already got feedback from, Germany as well as Austria, what Deepa has already mentioned, and other 9 countries also, that they are also started using this site quite often. We have also received, feedback and contents support from nearly 17 organizations. All are globally renowned organizations, including some of the Indian government organizations who have kindly, and ministries, who have kindly agreed to put their contents in our website as well. So we thank all of them for their support. Now let us come back to the presentation schedules and this because here we can have several type of digital libraries, as we can see that different digital libraries in different way, maintaining the researchers requirement and providing a lot of support to their research as well as overall Indian research fraternity. So from that point of view, first of all, today we have in our this panel, we have esteemed panel, Dr. Mukti Advani, who is HOD, Document and Library Services, and Principal Scientist from CRRI, that is Central Road Research Institute. So I request Madam you to give us a, enlighten us with what kind of services you are providing from your library and, supporting this sustainable mobility research. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhattacharya. First of all, I will congratulate Team TERI and all other partners for this project. It's a wonderful initiative. If I understood correctly.
Can you switch on your camera? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes. Yes. I think it's a really important initiative. Being a transport planner, I will say this is the one thing every planner or every researcher must be looking for. Once this information is reached to a planner or researcher, definitely it count him or her as a user for sure. But apart from it, yes, all libraries need to be conveyed with this information that this initiative has been initiated. As of now, I will say CRRI is a part of CSIR, and CSIR has 34 labs. And all CSIR labs and all DST labs have a consortium that is called NKRC. We all share, I will say, e-resources, but that is only in form of e-journals and nothing else. We just share, this consortium share only the e-journals. So whatever we are unable to have, maybe we can, request to each other. Similar way, if it's is it possible that some kind of, I mean, if I am a user to this particular website, e-library, can I add my own data with some copyright or some issues? Especially some consultancy projects, to be honest, wherever we collect data, we are not supposed to share. But mostly wherever the students are involved, we generate lots of data. It used to be very location specific. One mid-block, one intersection, one accident information and anything like that. Those things have never been kept in a single database, neither at the ministry level nor at even the institute level. Only the one person who's guiding multiple students, he or she may be having a time series data. So if possible, or it's already there, kindly share that information. This database can be expanded. That's just one my point of view. Apart from that, I will just say that for one of my students, we just extracted all the related in the sense, because we were trying to study the accident part of roads. We just tried to extract related YouTube videos, all YouTube videos. Because of corona thing, we were unable to get primary data from the field, from the site. We just tried to collect all the YouTube links which has some accident, real time. I mean, it's an actual accident, not an animated one. And that also, I will say, it's a small, very small, but 5 accident. But if somehow we can add somewhere YouTube links related to accident, YouTube links related to some data, or YouTube link pertaining to particular very good keynote lectures. We do carry so many conferences, but keynote lecture is being available to only those who have actually attended those conferences. Like, to be honest, and our own director, Professor Satish Chandra, has his own YouTube channel, and he's originally IIT professor. An IIT professor is having YouTube channel where he's delivering excellent lecture for BTech and MTech. And I mean, similar to him, there can be many. So these kind of links can be given for the students to learn from, or for even every researcher to learn on. So this, I think, apart from that, is it possible? I don't know. If have you ever faced any issue with respect to the thesis sharing? Because I did my I'm a student of IIT Delhi, and I know that my thesis is not an open source. I can circulate as an individual to some few of the people, but it's not open source data. So maybe it belongs to IIT copyright. So those things, I will say, as a researcher, I don't know. Apart from that, somewhere you mentioned, madam, that manufacturer of charger or manufacturer of something related to transport or mobility, those lists or those links have been provided. If possible, can we have expansion with respect to software companies? Every person involved in mobility uses lots many software, simulation software. I won't name any particular brand, but we have many. So if possible, we can have it. And surely once we give link for those softwares, I being in CRRI, I would like to know that within India, what particular software is being utilized by TERI, by IIT, by SAPT, or all, many known institutes. Another thing, we do conduct lots of surveys, traffic surveys, accident surveys, geometry surveys. We always struggle to find the correct vendor or consultant who can collect data for us. I don't know if it's the same issue for many institutes, but yeah, we do face this issue. And if the list of such vendors, if I know that this person or this vendor or this company has worked earlier for ministry, earlier for TERI or any institute, I will say I will build more trust on them compared to a person whom I don't know. So these are the few suggestions. And though I had prepared a PPT, but I will say it's not that relevant, to be honest, but I will quickly go through if you permit, just in 2-3 minutes. Somehow my mind worked together towards the literal meaning of, I will say, the role of digital libraries in sustainable mobility, and that's why I prepared somewhat on those lines. I will just take 2 minutes. Obviously, this is not important now because I was trying to highlight what is the importance of digital information, because kind of data we store nowadays is a huge, and we need to have digital. Of course, it has some benefits and pros and cons for traditional library as well as digital libraries. And as I was mentioning, at CRRI, how we collect the information it comes from publisher to NKRC, the network where all CSIR lab and DST labs are involved. It's a consortium, and then it comes to us, and then ultimately it's to a researcher. Now, any particular book or any particular journal, if it has to travel from publisher to reader, it involves a transport cost, time and fuel and pollution and everything. So if I convert it into e-library, how much can we save? So it nearly in terms of cost, it is 10%. I think more than me, everyone else must be knowing. And roughly, if I convert this into the print delivery of a journal from it's a in print version to e-journal, it reduces or it helps me to reduce the emission by 55 kg CO2. Just I'm saying CO2 because it's vehicular traffic. So if we convert it into, at least an NKRC, I had a very rough calculation, I will say, it can save 200 tons of CO2 in a year just by not using print journals. And that's only for transport cost. I'm not taking anything into account in terms of printing work. And this being a huge thing, if we are able to estimate it correctly, because to be honest, whenever we talk, earlier we had a large project called Indian Highway Capacity Manual, Indo-HCM, where we have a huge traffic data, but we couldn't share it to among all because we couldn't justify the amount for having a digital library because its initial capital cost is it's not like ignorable. So maybe now if we have some correct estimation towards it, we can provide those data. Like, to be honest, Indo-HCM data is a huge traffic data, and we are providing to each and every researcher who has sent a request, an email request, official request. We are able to share it. Only thing is we don't have a platform like you have created where we can keep all these data because it's a huge data in terms of a size. So if somehow if you can manage in your portal, we would love to share those data. So in case of any research collaboration required for TERI and CRRI, I think we would love to. And that's all I think wanted to say. As a library person or as a research person from the mobility, we are ready to collaborate. And once again, thanks to everyone, whoever has created this digital library. Definitely, I'm going to register for it today. Thank you.
Thank you, Muktiji. And your calculation of bringing printed journal into digital platform and how much transport cost and fuel consumption can be saved is really very interesting. I have never seen it in any other platform. Just today only I came to know. So that's definitely is an interesting thing. And regarding this research collaboration, definitely we can talk later and we can discuss further. So without further delay, let me invite Mr. Kumar Sanjay, who is Director Library of NITI Aayog, and I'll request Sanjay ji to highlight on how NITI Aayog is supporting their researchers because NITI Aayog is working in different SDG platforms, and very recently they have brought out a dashboard kind of literature which is very mind-boggling also. So how their library is supporting their research and how digital library is helping them in sustainable mobility research. Over to you, Sanjay ji.
Thank you, Bhattacharya sir. Thank you very much for giving me the time and the platform to share my views on this role of libraries. Good afternoon to all. The topic of today's webinar, which is role of digital libraries and knowledge collaboration to advance sustainable mobility research. I think when we say library, so library has traveled traditional to, you can say, partial modern, partial digital to complete digital. But we see that so many libraries are still in the traditional mode. Let me share some presentation. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes, we can see it.
Okay. So when we say mobility or green mobility, so one quote that is Erhard Epler. The quality of life goes up where the legs are used a little more and the elbows are used a little less. So it's not the environment and the climate only. When we say physical, our health, so the quality of life goes up in every sense. When our legs being used more and more, and elbows are used. Elbows is, it means like you can say when we are steering, it's the part of work of the elbows. So it explains totally the objective of the green mobility. At first, I congratulate to Bhattacharya ji for the platform they are providing, the digital library on green mobility. I am also the member of that. I have registered, that is NITI Aayog, I have registered in that, I think 4 or 5 months back. When, but I'm sorry to say that I haven't added any document till now, right now, because there's some, you can say, unawareness, or you can say some other work I'm not able to add, but it's a good platform. I can add myself the document, upload the document by giving the metadata, whatever the metadata they require at that place. So it's a good platform by which we can share, and you can say it is the knowledge collaboration, because the topic of today and the key point is digital library, knowledge collaboration, and sustainable mobility research. So digital library, because digital library will provide you the platform on which that knowledge collaboration will be in true sense. In the traditional library, previously we have done resource sharing through interlibrary loan, but it will take time. And therefore, in the digital environment, the knowledge collaboration, it means to say they can sit like here. I am sitting here, you are sitting there, all are sitting at different places, but we are discussing these things. So this is the knowledge collaboration without, you can say, beyond the time, place, this one, anytime. So those who are sitting at somewhere other country, they can also access this one. So just 3 points. Certainly, it's the very good topic and the demanding topic for this stage environment. When we say our system, our library system, you will see that X library, Y library, Z library, they are working independently. If we leave someone like the initiation of initiatives of TERI, we leave some libraries. So all libraries are working independently. There is no any collaboration. So though where it collaboration occurs, it means to say resource sharing will increase, the usability of the resources will increase. You see, this X system has owned their database, own database, Y has own database, but there is no any interaction or collaboration or you can say sharing among these libraries. We need this one. In knowledge collaboration, like this platform, what we have to do in digital libraries, that is all information about resources on a common platform. Like that, in mobility, green mobility, the transportation part, all the reports are available on the, you can say, digital library on green mobility. So TERI has created a common uniform platform on which anybody can access, anybody can upload whatever that is copyright free, or take the permission from the copyright holder and then upload it. IT infrastructure is required. So we have to move from the traditional library to the digital library, because it is the middle path. Yeah, you can say middle step from the traditional to the digital, then again that is knowledge collaboration. What we require like this one. You can say this is the architecture among, that is, all the library comes under one common web and mobile interface, and all the resources hosted on the cloud. What is the practical example of this? So when we say this one, green mobility, or you can say that is green environment. So carbon share, at present we say that carbon share is 46% overall. We have to reduce it, and that you can say government of India has targeted that is reduced to 40% up to 2040. So carbon share in energy mix, whether it is in the transport, whether it is in the energy, that is electricity energy. So all these energy part we have to reduce. So dependency upon the, you can say, coal or petrol fuel should have to be reduced, and government of India thinking about that. Like in 5 years back, the first charging station, e-charging station, was installed in the NITI Aayog, as I know, and I have seen the electric buses and all the electric cars, different electric vehicles were shown here in this our premises. So EV initiation was started at that time, and it is our you can say good initiative by the CEO Amitabh Kansa. They have done this one. So our other unit, and we have different dashboard, that is energy dashboard is there, aspirational district dashboard is there. So a question Bhattacharya asked me that what library, that is NITI Aayog library, is contributing to them. In terms of NITI Aayog library is providing all the resources required by them. Whatever they, not only the resources we are providing, you can say, a specialized service. That is, we at first inquire from them what type of information or what type of work you are doing, and we will provide you the information. Like we have different verticals. For the energy vertical, we are preparing like this one. We are preparing the bulletin and providing the information, and you just see compiling the information from different sources and providing to our users for the energy vertical. So about 8 to 10 officers who are working in the energy vertical for the research policy part, we are providing each that is weekly bulletin to them on every Monday. Not only that, we are extracting the data from different databases. Like this one, suppose energy, coal, gas, annual change of share and total year-wise. But fetching the information from here and providing to them, these are the, so they can use this data in their report. This is one part which I am showing you from not only this database. There are so many databases we are subscribing, and we are trying to provide not only the user ID, the accessibility facility, but also the fetching the information, fetching the data from the database, and then provide them according to their need. Green mobility, it's not only the transportation, where you can say we reduce the carbon share by converting all the information, all the vehicles to e-vehicles. Rather than, we have to realize what will be the problem. Like you just see CNG variant. Still after 20 years, last 20 years, we are still have a long queue when we go to the CNG fueling station. So what will happen when we switch over to the electric vehicle? NITI Aayog has published one report in which they are providing the alternate fuel, that is petrol fuel, ethanol. I'm showing you. Anyway, I think ethanol is the alternative fuel method. Next question is, how can we reduce? So in the traffic signal, you will find during that one drive is going on, that is red light on and engine off. You will find each and every red light nowadays in Delhi. What is the drive? That is engine off. It means to say the fuel consumption is off during that period. By this way, we can reduce that. So government policy will also help to reduce the carbon share to the environment. And how can we reduce? If we strict, because you will go in different markets and different places, different, you can say rally, during the rallies, wastage of fuel. And that increase the share of carbon share to the environment. These type of information, these type of, if any articles published on this, how to reduce the carbon share, what are the policies the government should adopt, so that should be passed to the research scholar. Another is the digital waste. We are moving towards the digital environment, and digital waste is also a threat. The other countries are dumping their digital waste to India also. You will find somewhere that digital waste are coming to the India, and it creates problem to that area. The last week, Government of India has started one initiation that install the solar panel at your roof. It will also reduce the carbon share. Solar car is also going to be developed because testing is going on that. So that will certainly reduce the carbon share to make the environment clean. By this way, we have to think of when we switch over to any new transportation system, we have to see the limitation also. I also want to change my car to the e-car, but the cost and the charging, two factors, I am thinking about that. How can we overcome this factor? Because like CNG, what I have given the example, a long queue has been seen in different CNG fuel station. So you have to think over that. And the policy is being developed for this one, like different highways, expressways. It's going to be that Government of India is making the policy to install the charging station on different expressways, so that difficult, you can say, charging should not be a problem for the electric vehicle owner. Library point of view, we have to watch over the resources available on at different places, and then inform our readers, provide the information about that resources to our readers so that they can use it. We can say concept wise, the traditional library or digital library, there is no problem, because Dr. S.R. Ranganathan has given at that time the SDI services, that is selective dissemination of information. Still it is relevant and useful. We are doing that. This digital library on green mobility, what is this? That is, we are collecting all the resources on green mobility at one place, and the person who are working and making the policy on the mobility, they can access that information at the same place. So user and the resources, it comes at a single place. That is the selective dissemination. So traditional library and digital library and the knowledge collaboration. But knowledge collaboration somehow advance of interlibrary loan or resource sharing. That is the main thing.
Sanjay ji, if you can conclude now.
Yeah. So this is the main thing, that is traditional library to digital library to knowledge collaboration, and the sustainable development. Because for this digital library, we have to think over the sustainable development also. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay ji, for such interesting presentation. What I take from this, that what you are suggesting, that there are several libraries or verticals where data can be put on the cloud, and those cloud-based data can be accessed by different libraries or different users as per their requirement, based on the necessity. And libraries can definitely provide inputs to policy making, to research, like as you have shown that you are doing a great job of collecting information and providing service to your NITI Aayog researchers, as well as providing data also from the different subscribed databases, as you have shown. So this is a very nice little presentation, but we have several questions lined up, and some of those questions we will discuss later on, and that's the reason I wanted to curtail your interesting discussion. Maybe sometime later we will means later this this webinar, we will learn much more from you. So without wasting any time, I'll come to the main presentation, where I'll introduce all our participants to our next speaker, Dr. B. Sudtradhar, who is librarian IIT Kharapgur, and who is also co-PI of the NDLI, that is National Digital Library of India project. So over to you, Dr. Sudtradhar.
Yeah, thank you, Bhattacharya. I'm really very happy today that you have invited me to give a presentation on the new topic called green mobility. So the topic is role of digital libraries and knowledge collaboration to enhance sustainable mobility research. So we people are talking most of the times on digital libraries. But my experience on digital libraries is that there are many digital libraries, but those digital libraries, there is no much content available. Even the contents are available, the contents are not relevant, even contents are not organized. So the today topic is more relevant. Wherever the resources are available on green mobilities, so that resources can be collected and then that can be circulated or provide service to the researcher who are doing research on green mobility. So I'll give a presentation on this topic. I prepared some slides, and since I'm working in the National Digital Library project, so what are the resources that we have and how we can provide service for this type of research and this type of research community. These I want to share with you so that it will be, I thought it will be useful for the people who are doing research in these areas. And as well as the TERI has also designed a website giving a lot of links on this topic. So they will also get some of the helps from my presentation, and they can also get resources where the resources are available on this topic. So let's start the presentation. So agenda of my discussion is green mobility and sustainability transportation, research content on green mobility on digital libraries around the world, and research content on green mobilities in digital library platform and as well as the Central Library IIT Kharapgur, and then creation of a single window search facility on digital mobility platform. These are the few topics I want to discuss with you. I think it will be really useful for you. So,
Sir, please put your presentation in full mode. Yeah.
So green mobility and sustainability transportations. Green mobility is a way to achieve sustainable cities. The cities needs efficient and affordable solution to reduce the traffic jams and all these things, and then to improve the urban environment degradations and reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. The goal is to integrate bus, metro, trains, and create an efficient public transport system. So I want to share some of the photographs what we used to see most of the days in Calcutta and big cities. These are the traffics. These are the vehicles are running on the roads. Still it's running. These are the autos. These are too much traffic. People are, bike, autos, taxis, buses, all these things. These are full of road. That is to be changed because it's create a lot of carbon dioxides and create a pollution. So to reduce that, now the new technology has come called electronic vehicles. So as Sanjay has told already that there is a main problem is charging and the cost. So still in India, there are many cars available, electronic scooter available, but charging is really difficult. So when you are traveling, you're going out, then you need a charging, but it's not available in all places. So these are the new technology have come, and I hope this will reduce the carbon dioxide in the environment, as well as it will reduce the cost and it will be affordable. Now, digital libraries around the world. There are many digital libraries available in the world where you can get the resources on the resource that's green mobilities, and you can accumulate it, and then you can index it, and then you can provide service to the user who need the resources. So I have just given some of the names on the digital library in the world where you will get the resources. And I have also searched, there are many resources that are available in this topic. So also there is a Wikipedia where you can get what are the digital libraries are available as on today, and which are the digital libraries contents are available, and from where you can collect the resources and you can create the services for the users. Now, the most important topic that I want to cover is that what the National Digital Library of India is providing services on this topic called green mobilities. So first of all, I want to share with you that it is a live project, and it is an indigenous project, and it has a lot of resources on this topic. Not only this topic, there are various topics. So I'll show you how much contents are there in this National Digital Library platform. So it's a very ambitious project, as you all know. That's there are a lot of resources are available for all type of users, even school students to the postgraduate and research scholar and lifelong users. They can have the resources from this digital library, National Digital Library. What is the objective? The National Digital Library of India is a project under the Government of India. The objective is to collect and collect the metadata and provide the full text index from several national and international digital libraries. I'll show you. Then educational material available for all the subjects areas like technology, social science, literature, law, medical science, etc. And library integrate content from institutional digital repository of a large number of Indian educational research institutes. So this is the portal, and we have a application for we have an app called mobile app, and two types of mobile app you can use it. One is web apps, and one is that is called mobile applications. You can download it from the Google Store, and if you have a iPhone, you can download it. If you have a Samsung and iOS phone, that also you can upload it. So more important aspect for the digital library, as we all are talking about digital library, but digital library's the main problem is that organization of the resources. If you give a search, the exact information will not display because its metadata is not organized. So National Digital Library has designed a metadata structure for those people who are really interested to create their digital library in their institutes. They can upload, they can download the metadata schema from the National Digital Library, where they can, which they can implement when they are designing and developing the digital library in their library. So I'll give you the site address where you can download it, and you can use this metadata schema for your digital library. So this is various type of metadata schemas are available. We have collected the important fields, and then we have created a combined metadata schema so that all types of content can be classified, can be explained, and can be explained so that it will be useful for searching facility. So this is the main schema of metadata, that is called metadata envelope. It is called we have taken actually metadata from three main metadata schema. One is doubling code, some of the field that we have taken. We have taken some of the field from LRMI for educational material, and then also we have taken some of the field from Sudtradhar, that is called implement. So with the help of all three metadata schema, we have created our own metadata schema so that we can explain, we can, classify all the contents, if it is book, if it is audio, video, anything, painting, photographs. So this will be very useful for you. It is available in our website. Anyone can download it and they can use it. So National Digital Library is wonderful because it has many verticals. Vertical means it has a school content, so that all the contents are available in school vertical. We have a domain vertical like medical, legal, like this. We have another important vertical called competitive examination vertical. Suppose the JEE GATE exam paper, IS civil service. So we have special type of vertical, and it's very useful and it's very demanding vertical called competitive examination vertical. We have data vertical, we have application vertical. In future, if TERI agreed, then we can also create a vertical called green mobility, so that if the researcher want the content in this area, they can go to the green mobility vertical and they can search and get the resources, whatever available as on today. So this can be created if required. So this is very interesting, and it's classified all the content in different vertical. So I don't want to get information on medical. I only want information on school resources, so they can go to school vertical and get the resources about school information and school content. So it has various type of contents and various available in different type of languages called English, Hindi, Bengali. So as on we have 20 language contents are available in our National Digital Library platform. Like this, uniqueness and research. This is as on today. I just tell you that participated institution of 15,000. We have registered user of 59 lakhs, almost 60 lakhs. Active user as on today is 32 lakhs, and average daily hits is around 2 lakhs plus. And the content as on today, we have 7.2 crore content in different type of content, full text accessible. You can, all the contents are not available full text, but as on today, we have 5.2 crore content, which you can download full text, but rest of the contents are available on abstract level. So there are many languages, and then there are 347 content that we have received from various sources. So, well, another important concept is called NDLI Club. Most of you know that those who are working in the AICTE institutions or college library or university library, they have to register the NDLI, because the AICTE has given the mandate that every AICTE institutional library, they should register with National Digital Library India. So what we are doing, that we have requested them to create to become a member of NDLI Club, so that they can use the content, and also they can create the content for others. So this is the NDLI Club site. As on today, we have 2200 club institution have member of this NDLI Club, and it's very useful, and it can they can create their own resources. They can also use their NDLI resources. So it's a very win-win situation for all of them. So that NDLI has received so many awards because its usefulness and its accessibility. So as on today, we have various awards. We are also providing services during this pandemic, a special type of service that we have provided. So benefit in sustainable transportation research through National Digital Library. These are the resources are already available in the National Digital Library platform. About 85,000 contents are available on these area. So I request TERI, they can collect this information from National Digital Library, and they can integrate whatever they have developed their site. So they can integrate it, so that from that site, they will also get resources of this 85,000 content. It is a free for everyone. You can download it. If you want, we can also help you to give this content. And now open access sustainable transportation research article data through digital libraries around the world. There are many digital libraries are available. Where also you will get the resources. I have just given some of the sites. This time is very short. I have to close it. So these are the sites from where you will get the resources. the digital collection, ULS digital collection. Then Stanford Digital Library, where you will get a lot of resources on green mobility content. Then UNM's library repository, where you will get a lot of resources. Then NDL LTD, where you will get resources. So these are the various sites where you will get the resources. Now, I am going to close this presentation. Before that, I want to share one of the information with you that creation of single window research facility on green mobility platform is very much essential. TERI has developed the website called Green Mobility, Digital Library on Green Mobility. This is the site address. I have access and see the content. It's very useful, very nicely developed, these sites, and this is the website. But what I suggest you that you can create a site, a vertical or a site where it will be very interactive like this. So this is the model I have suggested, which you can implement it so that it will be very interactive. You can collect the information, various sources in India, in abroad also. There are many organizations, institutions, colleges, NGO, government. They have their own digital library where there may be some of the resources are related or relevant for this green mobility, where which you can collect it and you can accumulate it and then you can index it, and so that you can provide service so user will get benefit from this side. So with this, thank you very much. I have to close because time is very short.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sudtradhar. This is definitely a nice presentation. In fact, a lot of food for thought for us who are working in the and of course GIZ also, who want digital library on green mobility. Those kind of resources should be brought together, and we will definitely be in touch so that it can be integrated, and what way best it should be next step forward. So definitely we'll be in touch. Thank you for your nice presentation. So coming back to the our last speaker in the panel, Dr. Anup Das, who is librarian at Center for Science and Policy, Jawaharlal Nehru University. So over to you, Anup. Anup, please put on your video also. Dr. Anup.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can hear you, but feeble.
Okay. Good afternoon to all of you. Actually, we have very less time for the presentation. That's why I would like to introduce certain things here, which already covered by our other speakers. I have been with the journey of DNGM since its beginning, and Dr. Mukta talked about the sharing of scientific data, and many institutions are using Dataverse for the sharing of scientific data, which can be integrated with the library system in the institutional library or maybe at the national level. And also, Dr.
We can't hear you properly, Anup ji.
Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see your slide, but your voice is very feeble.
Okay, I'm trying to connect it. Sorry for that. Can you hear me now? Hello?
No. Yeah, now it's just speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is clear.
So actually there is bandwidth problem, so that's why I'm just switching off my video, and then I think you can clearly listen to me. And we're talking about that integration of different libraries, and I think recently Government of India launched on Indian culture.gov.in web portal where many Ministry of Culture institutions having their own e-books and uh, rare books and also reports and other publications which are integrated with this platform, which is called culture.gov.in. And similarly, we have
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Your voice is not clear, and we can't see your PPT also.
Okay.
Can you share your screen again, sir?
Is it okay now?
Yes,
Is it
yes,
okay
you
now?
can see it.
Yes, sir. We can see.
So we see that we have one indianculture.gov.in where all the institutional libraries under Ministry of Culture are integrated, and there all collections like e-books, rare books, reports and proceedings, manuscripts are also digitized and also giving access to researchers. And here you can see that we have collections from the National Library, Central Secretariat Library. They have rich collections of reports and maybe some rare books also. And in the state level also, we are having different digital libraries, particularly from West Bengal Secretariat. They have launched on the digital library because it was earlier the place for British Raj. So they have a good collection of British government documents, all documents related to India before independence. And this way, these are the documents which are available here. And we can see that we have one web page of Wikipedia where 10 digital libraries are listed. And you cannot see that name of the DLGM here. So you can create one wiki page, a page on DLGM so that other users from different countries and also different institutions across India, they can search through also DLGM collections. And in the Indian Digital Library, that web page, we can see that some of the digital libraries are mentioned, but those are not digital libraries. One digital library is mentioned which is non-existent. So we can remove the anomaly because some institutions are listed here. They are facilitating digital library, but they are not itself a digital library. They are having their own digital library. So we can create that system also. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to conclude that the FAIR principles, that is findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable or resources need to be adopted for their discovery beyond respective digital library portals. Web discoveries of e-collections are very minimal in some of the lesser used or lesser known or newly emerged digital libraries, including which are launched in the last 2 years. And we need to improve indexing and record our emerging digital libraries on Wikipedia because we have to create our own page, Wikipedia page, like DLGM Wikipedia page, and also listing with the open door, that is directory services, and also search engine, web discovery services, big data harvesting services, and how to engage with the public or general end users. So public engagement with DLGM can be encouraged through competitions, like we are having competitions for research proposal writing or datathon based on DLGM collections and data sets, and we can offer some awards also based on that decision of the competitions. And also we can have public engagement with DLGM through social media. I think you already mentioned about the social media activities on DLGM, and social media profiles can be created. So not only institutional profile, but also DLGM its own profile can be created for regular posting of updates. So that's all. Thank you. And I would like to pick up some questions during the question and answer sessions, particularly from the which are given earlier. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Anup, and thank you for your suggestion. We'll definitely, I cannot promise each one of them, but definitely some of these suggestions are very important and interesting. So now, may I request all our panelists be, switch on their video so that we can have take couple of questions. Some question just to tell you beforehand. Dr. Indradip, if you can also come on board, and Dr. Kumar Sanjay ji. Now, we have actually during this presentation, what we have during this webinar marketing, what we have done, we have asked few questions. If our users have some questions, or if our registrant users have some questions, so some of the interesting questions came up, and we can actually take up a couple of things from there. One specific, suggestions given in the chat mode, I could see that any plan to engage manufacturers with researchers for feedback and knowledge sharing for green mobility solutions. Now, see, this is a library. What we are trying to do, we want to give you an access to each of such, manufacturers and researchers, and rather research outputs and all. But any kind of solution that researchers or the industrialists are supposed to, bring up, it's not job of the librarian. But however, we will definitely discuss this at a later stage with GIZ people also, and how best we can engage people. We can definitely have a look at this. So that is one thing. And now a couple of questions, are there. So one specific question is most interesting, is that whether we can means, first of all, each one of us know that digital library are prone to different kind of cyber attack. Now, how safe are they, and what steps should be taken so that copyright issues can be, prevented? So any one of you can want to take up a this question. So what should be done so that cyber attack doesn't happen to digital libraries?
Yeah.
Doctor, yes, please go on.
Yeah, actually, this is a common things. Even if you are a digital library, not even a cyber threat, even when you design or develop a digital library, you must have a thought in a mirror server, because today you are sitting in TERI office, and in that office you have a server, and suddenly there are some earthquake or some problem, fire or something, that the existing server is clash. Okay, it's not working. So that you must have the opportunity to open up another server which is located in another place. Not only one place, 2 or 3 places it should be there. Even if the digital library is so important and contents are very useful and it is a very costly affairs, then you must have that mirror server arrangement. That is mean disaster management system. That means your location will not only be in TERI office, your server should not be available only in TERI office, your server should be available in other place, and that place will be protected with in fire and then earthquake, so that if one server is affected, then suddenly another server will be on. So I think that every digital library designer, they should have in their mind that they should have a different type of server for which the cost is involved. So the budget should be designed such a way that you must have to buy 2 or 3 servers so that it will be safe.
Okay. And one comment, any other panelists want to say anything on this issue? I have one specific, point. Yes, Sanjay, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, For the cyber attack, we have to think the policy like one suggested by Sudtradhar sir. Another is that each and every time, whenever the software we are hosting on the server, that should be audited, and rather than you can say procuring the hardware for the digital library, we should have to purchase the digital space from the vendor. So it will be the duty of the vendor to protect our data. So that will help us. Like in Government of India, NIC is the digital space provider. So the cyber attack and the related problem, it will be dealt by the NIC. Similarly, when we purchase the digital space from Amazon or different vendors, so it will be the duty of the vendor to save our data at that place. So being, you can say, procurement of hardware, we should have to switch over because of the digital space. It will be the cost effective also.
Okay. Okay.
Can I also say something on this?
Yes.
Okay, so actually I'm not from library science background, so I can't comment on the IT infrastructure required for library related ecosystem that we are discussing here. However, I'm coming from electricity sector, and their data is a very, very important thing. So you must know that in Indian electricity sector also a special focus is given on cyber attack and data security aspects. So in the country, normally the principle is n-3. So that means minimum 2 additional layers of servers. One is back to back and one is in the third location. And that is practiced widely for our national, in this context, Indian power system. Each state load dispatch center has a mirror server and an additional server. And then concerning another application, which is called like solar and wind energy forecasting, which needs also a dedicated server, there also generally n-2 principle applies, and therefore it's generally not dependent on one location. Always there is a backup, and depending on the importance, a backup of the backup. So I have no knowledge if that is similar principle is applied for the library science related IT or not. But this is I thought to share this.
No, this is very useful information. In fact, in line with what Dr. Sudtradhar was also mentioning, just one comment I can tell here that for the copyright issues, as in you can see that in NDLI site also and in during DLGM presentation also we mentioned that we are taking full text content only when we are getting permission. If we are not getting permission, create metadata and link it to the original content so that people can download from there. So that's the only way. Now we have received several questions on the issue of how to this digital information can digital library can be in the collaborative platform and how collaboration can happen, all these things. And I think we have discussed enough during our presentation that how knowledge collaboration is happening. In fact, in NDLI presentation, in DLGM presentation, as well as in NITI Aayog also, we have seen several things. Now, let me come to another aspect altogether where it has been mentioned that, how DLGM, this is a very specific question, and I want either Dr. Indradip or maybe Dr. Mukti can take this query. What is the role of a digital libraries when it specifically come for sustainable mobility research? What a researcher expect? Means I know that there are certain, already we have told something, but probably from the knowledge collaboration, how research collaboration can happen. So from that perspective, if any one of you can share some light on this particular issue.
Okay, Dr. Mukti first.
Yeah, thank you. I think from the research perspective, with respect to publication, I think directly or indirectly, researchers do manage paper, a book, or anything, either by own library or some friends or consortium, or even at last point, we can purchase it, right? That's the option still we have. But to me, I will say, as a researcher, data is the most important thing which we are missing, and especially in last 2 years, many projects have been stuck because we couldn't go to site and we collect the data. I totally understand the difficulty in maintaining the database for like primary data, traffic data. But if somehow if we can provide it, if not the complete data on the database, at least link that this particular link with respect to metadata, that person A is having this data. If you want to collect, you can contact through this email ID or something. If I understand we cannot keep full, even 1 hour video data will take a huge space. But if not, then contact information, freely available data with some contact details. I think that as a researcher, I say it will be great help. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Indradip.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree with Dr. Murthy on this aspect. My view is that the complexity here, the digital library is also knowledge portal or access issue, but the content is related to the clean or green mobility. Now, this theme is getting more and more complicated over time because of the higher technology, every day something new coming, and the government is supporting. So as a whole, it's a part of the global ecosystem, I would say, and the whole world is pushing towards green mobility. So over the years, we see that a huge amount of growth and diversification happened. And 4 years back or 5 years back, we did not talk that much in India about application of artificial intelligence, for instance, for electric mobility operations. We had artificial intelligence applications for mobility research. That's something generic. Here we are talking on one hand very macro topics. One is very technically focused topics where mostly engineering and science based applications coming. So the whole universe becoming really bigger and complicated. So my view would be the primary help for a researcher for a digital library on green mobility is the access of data and helping a researcher for a part of the literature review already. If I have to now start looking at whatever the research published, I start classical methods and find out which journal and all that, it's enormous time taking. If some of that is already done by the DLGM, like I am seeing that a lot of more than 600 research papers, journal papers are already there in DLGM. I just checked it now, which is enormous help because this is kind of already sorted out, summarized, abstract given from the known and well-known journals, relevant journals. So that is one side of it. On the other hand, if you see the transport, sustainable transport could be in principle divided into two thematic areas. One is the demand side, that means the what do you call how the mobility transition is going to happen. That topic where the from NMP, from non-motorized transport, demand side management, public transport, mass public transport, efficiency in demand, those aspects are dealt with. On the other hand, the focus is on the energy transition for mobility, fuel usage. In that, for instance, electric mobility coming, or I don't know, bio-based or hydrogen-based. In the future, there will be various types of new energy storage for electrification of transport will come. Such things. These two are actually different. A person who is doing research on batteries have no connection with actually there is a public bus or BRT or metro rail system. It's totally decoupled topic actually. But for a good portal for digital library on green mobility, both should be classified and included. And there I see a huge heterogeneity in the market. If I have to now search for any particular topic, have to start from the scratch like 10 years back. And there, if I have a website where it has also in a structured way classified, archived information, that will be much time saver for a researcher. To me, this will be extremely valuable. Thank you.
Okay. So we will discuss other two specific issue. So one is very dedicated to Indian library community as such, and it could be a general. What it's saying that can small and medium size or private institution or their libraries afford these facilities? Now, what do you comment on this? Means in terms of when it comes, development of digital library or maintenance of digital library. So I think one person, Dr. Anup Das, is, you can, we will begin with you. So can you just take up this question that,
Yes, sure.
Yes, please tell us what is your view on this? Means how
Yeah.
these small organizations can be integrated. So that's where knowledge collaboration comes.
Yeah, actually, in our center, we research on grassroots innovations. Innovators, they go to public libraries for getting information. And I think this is the digital library which can be accessed from the public libraries as well. And also from the small private institutions. And this digital library will help the grassroots innovators or maybe some practitioners who are
It's
working.
not audible.
Yes, we can't hear you properly, Anup.
Okay. Yeah, that is the point that public libraries or private institutions, they can provide access to resources in the DLGM to the grassroots innovators or practitioners. So that is the point.
Okay. Any other comments on this aspect? Because I can see that when NDLI is having so many partner libraries, there must be even schools also. Yes, probably you can give us some clue to it.
Yeah, actually, before pandemic, we organized more than 50 workshops in all over the country. Almost we cover all the state of our country. We went there, we invite the people, and then we train the librarians and then computer science specialists. Those are attached with the library, in the library. And we have trained them how to install, configure the institution digital library in their library so that they can create the digital library and then upload their content in their library. So they need some expertise. So we went there, we invite them, and then we train them. But after that, the sustainability is the important. So after taking the training, train and everything, and they have also installed when they return the institutions by interest they have installed. But after that, most of the institutes they have not maintained it, and that is the point that we are lacking. That things have been done, and after that it's not continuation. It's not continue. So this is very disturbing things. So we thought that there may be some problem for infrastructure. They may not have the server. They do not have the expertise on site. If there is a sudden problem, who can help them to reinstall it or rectify the problem and make the server workable condition. So therefore, we have decided that we'll provide the space to install to create the institution digital library in the name of their institutions. That also we have informed, and most of the institutes they have requested us, and we have a format, we have a license agreement that some of the points that we have written, at least 500 content they should upload when we have given the space, and then create the institution repository for their institute. They should at least upload the 500 content which will be helpful or useful for the NDLI. So Some of the institutes they have taken, but after that it also not maintained. This is the problem in Indian scenario. So we are providing many facilities, but still the people are not, or the some librarians are not interested. Maybe they have some internal problem, but these are the real problem that we have observed. But there are some librarians or some institutions, they have really done a good job for their library, and they have also shared their content with the NDLI. So these are the things is going on. So
I understand. This is a problem, but in DLGM we are tackling it in a different way. So what we are doing that we are getting contents from different, or we approach organizations, be it small or big, if they are working in this specific domain, or any researcher who wants to share information, we regularly get in touch with them and they share their contents with us, and we upload this and we also acknowledge them.
yes,
that's the way we are tackling this issue.
We are giving them a certificate. Acknowledgement in the form of certificate that we are given.
So we haven't given certificate.
So that they can show their authority. They can show their authority that they have done something for the nation. So these are the things that we are doing.
So we are really running short of time. It's already nearly 25 minutes over. So it was an interesting discussion. We have came to know the different kind of digital libraries which are operational. We also came to know, we have got some feedback from NDLI where we can definitely get some collaborative content. We can definitely link there, as well as we are quite aware that several data sets are available in NITI Aayog. Probably we can be in touch with them, and so that some maybe a regular collaborative inputs we can probably get from NITI Aayog also, and with CRRI we can also work together. So what it means, and of course Dr. Das also given us some means advantageous situation. So just to summarize from my point of view, that in DLGM what we have found that users are ready to collaborate, share, provided they are getting their research inputs in time. So what we feel that the accurate or authentic information and timely information as fast as you can upload them in your website, these two things are very priority thing. And of course, as you are saying that it should be due credit should be given to the people who are actually collaborating their contents with us. So these three things we are definitely taking in count. There were several other questions asked to us. We could not take it during this session, but definitely we will be in future. We'll conduct several such sessions with many other different speakers, or some could be repeated also, and during the next 1 year or so, so that this database or this website what we want to we want this website should be a regular input provider to different kind of stakeholders, be it a researcher or a policy maker. So from that angle, DLGM will work in collaboration with all of you. So with this, I'm stopping here, and Reeta, over to you for final words.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya, sir. Now it's time to propose vote of thanks. And on behalf of the TERI, I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed speakers of the webinar, Dr. Indradip Mitra, Mr. Kumar Sanjay, Dr. Mukti Advani, Dr. B. Sudtradhar, Dr. Anup Kumar Das, Ms. Deepa, and Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya for their presence and contribution to making this webinar a great success. Thank you all. I'm pretty sure that the precious knowledge that our experts share today will help participants in their future assignments. A special thanks to Dr. P.K. Bhattacharya from TERI and Dr. Indradip Mitra and Ms. Reeta Kalia from IGEN for providing immense support to make this webinar successful. I must thank all our TERI team, Saloni, Nikhil, Ritu, for working hard to make this webinar successful. Last but not the least, I thank and congratulate all the participants for their active participation. So thank you all and everyone once again for making it a great success. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.